Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
And my name is Mrinal, and in this episode, we have to talk about the elephant in the room of the entire NHL.
Two elephants, no?
Two elephants in the room, and they're both in Vancouver.
This is a weird drama, in my opinion.
This drama has been looming over the NHL for weeks.
Yeah.
And if you haven't heard about it, the Vancouver Canucks are essentially shopping both JT Miller and Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
So rumors that the two of them aren't getting along, not even cordially enough to work together. Again, all rumors. The players haven't said anything, but it seems like Vancouver is willing to trade either one of them, and it's trying to see what the best deal is.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point, just to add on to it, it's gotten to the point where, media has been asking about it post game. JT Miller has been like, if I can bring him out and we can do the interview together or this press conference together right now if you want. And Elias Pettersson's been walking off and just not wanting to talk about it and stuff like that. I've seen obviously NHL drama. We've seen this unfold like in Ottawa during the Erik Karlsson, Mike Hoffman beef and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen, but only one of them got shipped out, right?
Yeah,
So-
I'm assuming only one's going to get shipped out here too.
Yeah.
Just whichever one gets a better deal.
Right. So the reason I want to say this is weird and I'm surprised by all this happening is JT Miller everyone knows he's this like hothead. He really wants to win, right?
Yeah.
He hates losing and that's just within his nature, and he honestly does what it takes to get to that win, even if it means like berating teammates and stuff like that. Elias Pettersson hasn't been great lately. He's not been playing up to his contract.
Yeah, and he's also just a different type of personality. He's the cool, calm, collected guy.
Yeah, it's two very different personalities. I can totally see how they would clash in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm a little shocked that JT Miller is being shopped because have other players even complained about this? Is Elias, like, it's not like his production's necessarily been down. For Elias Pettersson, it sure has. He hasn't been playing at that $11 million contract level. If I was the general manager, I'm emphasizing a shop on Elias Pettersson more so than JT Miller, right?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I think if you ask the general manager, he would have a preference and say, "Yeah, I'd rather ship out Pettersson."
Yeah,
but you can't pigeonhole yourself like that, right?
Yeah,
and leave options open,
right? And I think something that I should probably add to this is that when JT Miller was I don't know if he took a leave of absence for personal reasons or if he was injured or something. I don't remember. But during that time, Elias Pettersson's production skyrocketed. Like, he looked like the old Elias Pettersson. It's almost like, you remember how we had like Burns and Karlsson and it just wasn't working, and then Burns left and then Karlsson exploded in points.
Yeah, and Burns did really well in Carolina.
And Burns did amazing in Carolina. Like, I don't know if you can have two of the guy. And so I hope, for the Canucks' sake, they don't shop both of them. Mm-hmm. They shop one of them. Obviously, they just got to pick which one.
Yeah.
Just based off track record, who do you think is like more likely to actually get shopped?
I think it's got to be 50-50. I can't pick one.
Really?
Because they bring such different things,
mm-hmm.
and both are things that contenders need, right? Like, this is the weird thing about the Canucks. All the other examples you brought up about the Senators, about the Sharks having this type of implosion, they sucked those seasons.
Yes, yeah.
The Canucks are good. They're in the playoff hunt. They're just outside of a wildcard spot as of this recording on Jan 16th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
If they could just get along,
yeah. Yeah.
And they're this good without Pettersson playing at his top potential.
Right.
Imagine if you can get Pettersson going.
Yeah.
Right?
There's still something salvageable.
Yeah. And they're both personalities that you need, right? If you look at the past few cup winners, they all have one guy who's kind of an ass and
mm-hmm.
hot-headed, and one guy who's the cool, calm, collected, right?
Yeah.
Most recent cup winner are the Panthers.
Yes.
They had Matthew Tkachuk, who's the hothead, and they had Alex Barkov, who's cool and calm.
Yeah.
Right? Before that was the Vegas Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
You had Mark Stone as a hothead.
Mm-hmm.
Eichel, cool, calm, collected.
Yeah.
Right? Before that was
the Avalanche, Nathan McKinnon.
McKinnon is the hothead.
Yeah.
McCarr is a cool, calm, collected guy.
Yeah.
Right? You look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kucherov's the hothead.
Stamkos or Hedman.
Yeah, the cool, calm, collected.
Yeah.
It's you need both on a Stanley Cup winning team.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I'm saying 50-50, because they're both desirable players. And honestly, the best case here is that they just fucking figure it out, right?
So that's a perfect segue, actually. What's the problem here? Like,
I mean, we won't know, right? This seems to be very much a personality thing, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no way we'll know just by watching games. And clearly the players are not going to say it.
Yeah. But at this point, is it almost in their best? When you say the players, are you talking about these two players?
Yeah, like Miller and Pettersson are clearly not going to say what's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, yeah, sure. I believe that. But I was like, for the other players in that Canucks locker room, isn't it in their best interest to speak up and be like, hey, what the hell? Because this has been dragging on for a while, in my opinion.
So do you put some blame on Quinn Hughes, captain?
I mean, I don't want to say he's exempt from it. No.
Yeah.
I mean, when you wear the C on your chest, like you kind of have to. You're partially responsible whether you like it or not, right?
And like, isn't locker room getting along kind of the captain's main job?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to blame him or necessarily, but like at a certain point, you got to be like, hey, nip it in the bud. I don't care what your beef is, but we're here to play hockey, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, not to blame Hughes or anything, but like. It feels like there's just a lot of disorder, and the media has twisted this and made it a lot messier than it maybe actually is. Mm-hmm. And I'm just surprised that it's honestly dragged on this long. That's my main emotion to take away from this.
Yeah. What do you think the Four Nations face-off is going to do? Because both of these players are going, and they're going to play on separate teams. Do you think that's going to escalate tensions? It's going to resolve it? Like having a break from the team for 2 weeks is going to help? What are your thoughts?
I mean, so again, like as you just said, the Canucks are not a losing team. They're doing pretty well. I think when you step away from that and have like these like mini bursts of intensity, look at the NBA play-in tournament. It's done a lot for the players in terms of like mental. Like, sure, it doesn't really mean anything necessarily. It's just like an in-season cash grab.
But just a way to up the ante in the middle of the season.
Exactly. Yeah. It just, everyone that plays professional sports is hyper competitive by nature.
Yeah.
And they just need something like that to get them going, and the NHL All-Star Game was clearly not it. So I think it would be good for both of them to like kind of find that mojo. Because at that point, I what do? Like you either have it or you don't to go into the playoffs and win a cup for your city, right? Like if that mini tournament is not going to get you back into form like quick, then what is?
Yeah,
what is?
True.
I have no idea.
So then that's going to be really interesting because they're going to go to that tournament, come back, and then it's going to be the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So, depending on their play between the Four Nations face-off and the trade deadline, that's when we could really see the story pick up, right?
Right. Like, what if we see, like, again, that explosion of offense again from Pettersson now that he's not playing with Miller or whatever, vice versa.
Like, he drags Sweden to the final or something?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Never say never, I guess. Yeah, so, I don't know. Maybe that would actually amplify trade deadline talk. Mm-hmm. So, it's hard to say.
I mean, it's a mystifying case.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's the best way to wrap, actually. Yeah. That's a great way to end.
Let us know your thoughts on the Vancouver Canucks in the comments below. If you like this episode, drop a like on it. If you want more Glass Seats, hit subscribe. We have multiple episodes out every week. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.